We have a local artist who's doing great things with popular Madison locations. But first, here's a look from our Skycam. Welcome back this morning. Now our next guest, he's taken common Madison scenes, and turned them into tiny miniaturized models. Here to tell us about his miniature Madison exhibit is Peter Castro. Peter, welcome back.
Thank you.
And here in our second hour. Now, I was even kind of confused during the break. We were talking about these miniature models. Now, you don't actually build miniature models.
No, they're actually photographs, and you use a technique. You can either use optics with a special lens, a tilt shift lens, or you can do it digitally, and that's what I've been doing.
Okay, so these aren't actual models.
No, they're actually Madison locations that are photographed, and then use the process to turn them into make them look like little scale models.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I'm taking a look at one of those photos right now, and that is very impressive. And now you said you do this digitally, correct?
Yes, that's a way in any editing process. I use Photoshop.
Photoshop is everywhere, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Photoshop is even being used in this. So typically now, before when we were speaking, a lot of your work deals with the natural world. But when it comes to these miniaturized things, you don't really deal with that.
Well, it's places in Madison, yeah, they're actually that anyone can go see.
Yeah. So, and I'm assuming this is a very common misconception for you, is that people think that you're actually out constructing these.
Right.
That must be quite frustrating for you. I'm sure you get that question.
They appreciate the art. That's all. It's really that people enjoy it. That's great.
When did you get into this?
Just this year, I accidentally came across an article on how to build your own tilt shift lens. And then it really intrigued me. It brought me back to when I was a boy watching Godzilla movies with all the sets. And I'm like, oh, I want to recapture that. And it has recovered more of my boyish inside, because I have to climb buildings and different fire escapes to try. Most of these shots are taken from above. So it's just interesting trying to get these shots. Yeah,
that does sound very difficult. Now, you were telling me that next week you're going to continue this work in the miniature field.
Yeah, I hope to rent an airplane and do some aerial photography, because like I said, all these pictures, when you look down at a model, you're looking down, so you can't always recreate that in different locations.
Yeah, that sounds very difficult. That sounds pretty expensive too, that you're going out and doing this for your art. I mean, how much is it going to cost for you to rent a plane and go out and...
I think there's a guy in Middleton, I haven't talked to him yet, but it's probably $150 for an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
That's fairly reasonable. All right, and of course, now you're going to be in an exhibit coming up as well, correct?
Right. It's Madiscapes. I'll have both the miniature Madison and my HDR landscapes, and I'll also be at the farmer's market here in about an hour selling some of my photographs.
All right, and of course, for more information, you can go to our web channel, NBC15.com, and Madiscapes Friday, October 3rd, 6:30 to 9 p.m. That's at the Electric Earth Cafe, 1 North Randall Avenue. Madison and Peter, I would like to thank you for coming down here, for joining us, and for showing us some of your work. I think it's really neat.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, well, right now we're